G'day everyone, welcome back. It's the 26th of June. I'm finally back from town. You can see I've got some stuff in the back there. It's time to go and spray some canola. So we'll get down there and we'll get spraying. But yeah, so that's all retic stuff in the back there. And on the back of the ute, that's all for the retic. Got tyres done. Did an order at Bunnings for a whole bunch of wood and all that sort of stuff. So we're getting closer to getting into all of our what's it called, landscaping. But for now I need to get spraying. Beer's looking good out there, but that's not where we're headed. We're obviously headed down to the canola. One thing with getting these tyres on, so I've got some cheapies. They're about 200 bucks, and you know, these are a big tyre. They're a 20-inch rim, so gives you a bit of an idea of how cheap the tyre is. They make they don't make any road noise when I'm driving along. They're just bitumen tyres, because obviously, like I explained in the last video, I'm doing the J-Max upgrade, getting the whole diff replaced, everything like that, bearings, blah 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 blah, GVM. So you end up with you got to get rated rims and tyres, big rims, same rims, but they're rated, and then getting 35s on 33s, so a lot more rubber. At low speed, these things make an awful noise. It's like you got your four-wheel drive still engaged. You know, when you got your four-wheel drive and you're trying to turn in a parking lot and you get that, it's what it sounds like, but from the back. But I know as soon as I go to the J-Max, because it's going to go to those big, chunky, mud-looking tyres, the all-terrains, it's going to be noisy once those go on, and the fuel economy is going to go whoo, straight down. But anyway, it needs to be done for what we what we do on this farm with this ute. I need to make sure that the ute is more than capable of doing whatever we're throwing at it, whether it be throwing a pallet on the back, a chemical, driving to wherever we're going, towing, you know, header fronts, fill bins, everything like that. Everything puts a lot of weight down on the ball, so you want to make sure that the ute is more than capable of handling that. I've just had a look at my weather station. We're currently 18, gusting to 24 k's an hour, so we're getting to the higher limit, which is not supposed to be. Today was supposed to, well, this whole week is actually supposed to be only about 5 to 8 k's an hour. This morning was beautiful. It's a problem with I had to go to town. I already had that booked in. That desperately needed tyres, as you guys saw from the last video. Anyway, we're gonna get spraying. This doesn't matter where it goes. This can go on wheat, it can go on barley, it can go on canola. It doesn't matter. It is just fungicide, and we put this onto the fungicide, onto the cereal crops for different diseases anyway. So if there's a little bit of drift, it's not going to matter. Obviously, I'm not going to spray in stupid weather, but yeah, just so you guys know, it's Mitizole, so it's prothioconazole and tebuconazole. So the brand that used to be, so this is actually Chem, the brand that it used to own the patent for however many years you're allowed to have it, like the first original one, is Prosaro. So we just say Prosaro, and that's what I'm meaning is that. So we'll get into it, we'll get spraying, and hope I can get, you know, a couple tanks done. I've got to pick my eldest rat bag up from the bus stop at 3 o'clock. So let's just hope that works out with coming in to fill up. I've got a feeling it won't, but I need to go and pick her up. So yeah, anyway, we'll just see how all the day goes. Nice and simple, easy brew today. All it is just the one chemical, that is it. Chemical, water, sprayed on the ground, well, on the leaf. So 450 mils a hectare. We're going at 80 litres a hectare. That's an 8,000 litre tank. That is 45 litres. 45 litres of that. All right. Hose on, liquid, get going. Henry's actually been having quite some trouble with this Mitizole, and it drying out in the tube on the inside. It's making it all flaky, and it blocks up his filter. So that's what this is for. But because it's brand new and I haven't sucked out from it yet, I'm going to just suck directly out of that with a Micromatic, because obviously it's a lot safer to do it this way than to do it that way. For now, going through that Micromatic was no issue because it's new. Like I haven't sucked any chemical through there. We'll see how we go on our second one. I think it's more like tomorrow I'll struggle. Henry said that it was okay for the first or second, and then after that it basically blocks. So we'll see how we go. If we got to take it off, we got to take it off. The thing that took me the most then was actually bloody working out how to finding the markings. Couldn't find the markings on the side of the drum there to work out how many litres I was using. So by the time I found it, we were there. That's all good. We got there in the end. Wind is still at that marginal spot, but yeah, we need to get going. We need to get it done. If I just sit around, it's not going to be good. Now, I'm not obviously going out when it's too windy. It is still going to get to the plant. It is still going to do the job. I'm just saying that we're right on that marginal line of like if it got any more windy, then I would pull up. But at the moment, it's okay. So we'll just go as we are. We'll get this outside lap done, and once I start getting on my upper backs, I'll then check the wind again just to make sure it's okay, and then make a decision. Hopefully it's okay. Hopefully it's come down a little bit and we can keep rolling, just because there's so much that needs doing. This paddock here needs its fungicide, the wheat, so all the wheat, so 1,500 hectares, needs all of its broadleaf and manganese, zinc, copper, all that, topped up before, well, basically within 2 weeks. And then we also need to get the Flexian onto all of Rhiannon, so 1,000 hectares. We need to then do what we're doing now in this canola in there as well, so another 1,000 hectares. We then need to do the Flexian over all of the wheat and all of the barley. So it's going to be a very, very hectic month essentially. Problem is we're in we're in a time of year where the wind is just so unpredictable, and obviously you're hoping for rain at this time of year, so showers are unpredictable, and yeah, you just got to play it how Mother Nature lies it. So, but look how good it's looking. Oh, it just looks so nice driving down there. Amazing canola on the left, you got the beer on the right there. She's looking good. Not sure if it's going to show up on the camera, but you can see hopefully there's a bare spot there, and it goes on for, I think there's 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so essentially it's 6 runs. And that was, even though I've got blockage monitors, that was when a driver, he basically, yeah, it was popping up red on it, and he's called me up saying it's red, and I was like, well, you know, get out and check and make sure. And he's going, yeah, I can't find anything wrong with it. And I said, well, make sure, you know, do a seat check, everything like that. And he said that there was seat coming out. Obviously there wasn't. The hoses, how we're having the hoses come off the back of the bin. So we had he had that hose come off, which whenever that happened with Chris, he'd just bang straight away, go out there, do it up, whereas the other driver wasn't quite as cluey, quite onto it, and went for a whole that's basically a whole stitching in, so about an hour and a bit without sorting it out. And gets a bit frustrating when it's something like that. You know, you've got the blockage monitors there that were just flashing red at him the whole time. This is when the blockage monitors were working too. So yeah, we've got some strips in the paddock there. Where Henry and I have discussed that we're going to go out with when we do fence line spraying, which will probably be in August. We'll go out there and just drive up and down there and just make sure it's all dead, because what will happen without being no competition at all. We're gonna end up with lots of ryegrass there, probably some marshmallow, something like that. We definitely don't want that to grow. So yeah, anyway, we're just ticking along the outside. Canola's looking magnificent. Once we get on the upper backs, I'll probably jump out in the canola and show you guys the canola, and yeah, see how good it's looking. Basically, I'm gonna get wet doing it. I can see that the canola's wet, so yeah, doesn't matter. Done our first outside lap, and I just thought I'd show you guys on the screen the overlap that we do. Tried to explain it when I was doing the mapping, and probably confused a few people. Confused me trying to explain it. It gets very difficult. Basically what we do is we use the air seeder as an anchor. So the air seeder is has its boom, you know, its edge is on the edge of the paddock, and that's what we go off. It doesn't have any overlap as we go. The boom spray, the spreader, and the headers, they all have to overlap at some point. So we always do that on our second lap. So to make, so you can see this line here, that was where I was just going up before, and then this is where I am now. And if you can see on the screen there, we're overlapping. So we've got, I think it's only about 40 foot of spray that we actually have going out there, and the rest of my nozzles are off. And because we have a boom spray that has individual nozzle control, so every single nozzle is a section, it means you don't get any overlap. So on the John Deere, we had 11 sections, and you had, you know, a couple of feet was still over spraying, and you'd notice that in the canola or the wheat or whatever, because you're overdoing the chemical in that one spot. But when you've got individual sections, individual sections, it just makes it so much better. So this overlaps by 40 foot, the spreader overlaps by half, and the headers overlap by half. So basically if we were in the header here harvesting along, we would only have half a front, because this here is where, you know, that's the outside lap there that the other guy's gone and taken, and then we're half a lap, and that gets us all into sync. That's a bit of water. Making the boom nice and muddy to go, and you know, gonna have to wash it now. But yes, that's how we do our controlled traffic. That's how we get our trams. That's the boom spray. Sorry, the seeder's our anchor, and yeah, everyone's got their different way of doing it, but that's just how I did mine, and yeah, it's worked well for us. I often get asked, does YouTubing get in the way of farming, or does farming get in the way of YouTubing? And it's only times like this that they get in the way of each other. I want to be in there spraying, but I also want to get out and explain to you guys exactly why I'm out here and what I'm doing and the reason for it, just so I can, you know, educate you guys so you're aware. I'm not just saying what it is up in the cab there and keep on driving, but also at the same time, time's money. I want to be up there and I want to be spraying. So we'll make it quick. We're out here spraying for blackleg and Sclerotinia. What's blackleg? What's Sclerotinia? They're a disease that happens to the plant, and what it does is it significantly reduces yield. So right about this sort of time in winter, the blackleg spores are released. So blackleg grows in the old canola stubble. So we had canola in that paddock just over there, and where else? Can't even remember now. Over there, I don't know, wherever it was last year, but there was just there. So this farm, this block here does get hit quite a lot by blackleg, because there's canola always in the rotation. We're always wheat, barley, canola, all three paddocks always next to each other. So what happens, the spores release, they come up, and what they'll do is they'll land on the plant, and then you start to get your disease. So I'm not going to be able to find any at the moment, but to give you an example, what happens is, so we'll look at this leaf here. See how this leaf here, now this isn't blackleg. This isn't blackleg, but just to let you know, it'll land on the leaf like that, and then what it does is it basically kills the leaf, and what you're doing is you are reducing your solar panel. This here, obviously the leaf, they photosynthesize, that's how the plant gets its energy and all of its growing potential from the sun. And if you reduce that leaf and it dies, then you're going to your plant is then struggling. And if you have a massive spore release, and if you have a massive infection in your crop, what it means is that you can lose up to 50% if it's a really bad year, and if you're not out doing fungicide. The other way blackleg affects the plant is down in the roots. So if I can pull this thing out. Oh. So we've got a nice big taproot there. Now this variety shouldn't be too susceptible to blackleg. Things like bonito, my old variety, very susceptible. And what would happen is right here, you also get blackleg in the stem. This is where you most notice it. And what happens is that essentially, that's your stem. And for those, well, we all know what happens. You get your water through the roots go up, and it all all its nutrients and everything goes through the plant. What happens is that root, if that gets disease in it, essentially you're then operating with like half, 3/4, 1/4, or none of your plant is able to suck any moisture, any nutrients, nothing like that. I think it's the xylem, can't remember now. Uni was a long time ago. That all dies. What happens is same as the leaf, it dies, but because it's the stem, it rots out, and then what happens is your crop goes from this to that, and everything dies, and you lose a huge amount to it, and it is not good. Sclerotinia is a completely different thing. So scleros, now I'm not going to be able to find one, but Sclerotinia will be something like this on the ground, and it's a mushroom, and it's got a spore, and when it spores up, goes up, and what will happen is it'll land right here on the plant, right there. And what happens is the Sclerotinia just absolutely nukes the plant. I'm not really sure how or what it does. It looks like fungus basically, and what it does is all that will just drop off and go. And what happens is if you have a big spore release and you haven't got your protection on there, is it'll go and it'll get everywhere, and you'll start to see all of your crop sort of just cankering over like that all across the paddock. So that is why we're out here spraying this now, because this is at 50%, around 50% flowering, and we want to make sure that we can protect this for the next month, and try and have it protected during that spore release. Right, time for me to get back up in that boom spray and get spraying. I hope that makes sense. Nothing more humbling than putting a drone up. The canola, it looks good from here. Looks even better when you're standing down looking at it. And then when you're high looking down, you're like, doesn't look like there's anything there at all. That's just how crop looks. Crop can look stunning from the ground, and from the sky she just doesn't look that good. But anyway, you get a bit of an idea of what she looks like, and hopefully you understood what I was talking about with the blackleg and Sclerotinia. So yeah, we're nearly finished our first tank, and then my second tank I'll only get part way through, and then I'll go and pick up my eldest rat bag, and we'll get that one finished. I don't know if I'm going to get a third one out today. We'll just see how the wind goes. As you guys can tell by when I got out before, the wind had dropped off absolutely tenfold. Like it'd only be maybe 8 gusting to 12, something like that. So it's good, perfect for spraying, but if it keeps dropping, you obviously can't spray in an inversion. So yeah, we do like wind, but just not a lot of it. So I've got enough time to get maybe half a tank out before I need to head off and go and grab my child. That time the Mightyzole was blocking. So when I took the Micromatic off, it was full of chunks around the, like basically where the safe, well, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Micromatic, but basically it's, you lock it on and you push a nozzle into, it's basically like a nipple of a tractor, so it pushes in and then that's how you suck out, and in where you push through that nipple, it all just is clogged up with little chunks of white goop. So I will not be going through there again. What I'll do is I'll go through that poly pipe that I've got there, well, our spear, and do it that way. That way I know that I'm not going to block my filters, because Henry said he was doing it and it was taking him a long time to suck it. Like that time it did take a fair chunk of time to suck, and eventually what it'll do is it'll block my filters out the back, so we don't want that. So yeah, I'll definitely have to give him a call and let them know. I think Henry might have, I can't remember if he has or not, but definitely need to call him and let them know that. That's shocking from the company, whatever it's called, I can't remember, Ozchem or Alchem or something like that. Yeah, should not be doing that. That to me makes me think that they have it's all fallen out of solution, and am I actually getting the right amount of product onto my crop? I don't know, but yeah, when you've got it happening like that, then I'll go a different brand for next year, because yeah, I don't want that to happen again. So I actually finished up on that run there, heading north, and we're, I'm past halfway, but it's back that way somewhere. So you can see on our coverage, I've got covered to the left. Because we're controlled traffic, and what we don't want to do is just have these random lines going between, turns going from here to that part there, is we're going to drive all the way to the other end, come all the way back down, and then start spraying. Where it gets really annoying is if you get really, really close to the end, let's just say you get 20 meters from the end, then you got to go all the way up here and then all the way back. Yeah, it gets a bit annoying. But yeah, anyway, I can't remember if I let you guys know or not, but we're spraying at 80 litres a hectare and doing about 22 k's an hour, and our nozzles are sitting on 4 bar. So we're yeah, we're getting a good droplet size, good coverage going into the canopy. If we wanted to get more of a more contact, more protection, then we'd probably be upping that to 100 litres a hectare. But yeah, 80 litres seems to be pretty good. We don't have too much canopy closure at the moment, so when I say that, the droplets from here can still get all the way to the bottom of the plant, well, most of the way to the bottom of the plant. If it was a bit more covered over and a bit more advanced, you'd want to go a higher water rate to try and penetrate the canopy a bit. But at the moment, we seem to be pretty good. I only managed to get 20 hectares done. It's time to go and pick up the eldest rat bag. So I'm going to go and grab her, get back down here and keep on spraying. Look at that, I even figure out how to fold this thing now. I'm going to be I wouldn't say a pro by the end of this, but I'll be competent by the end of all this spraying. But yes, I'm gonna get pick up the daughter and keep on spraying. But I reckon we will leave the video there, everyone. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I'll catch you in the next one.